Hi everybody, this is Ladybug, and we are going to do some cross stitching today, or at least for now. So what I'm working on is the wolf, and to get this out, it doesn't have a very good picture, not at all, okay? So I will pull out and show you what I can, but the thumbnail is teeny tiny. And so, just hold on a second. Come on out of there. All right. I am going to try to bring you in to where you can actually see it. Okay. All right. Let's see. See if I can get you in close enough. All right. That's the best that I can do. But anyway, that's the wolf that I'm working on. And it is an 11 count. And it is 45 by 45 centimeters. And as you can see, the printing is super small. And so it's going to take a while because as you can see, the printing is very tiny. So we're going to do the best that we can do. And right now, I am working on, let's see if I can find it, is number 16? No, 19. And it's 939 is the color of the thread. And unfortunately, I'm going to try to do this, on screen and try to keep it centered because I am not very good at cross stitch when it comes to keeping it in the center of the screen. So you'll have to excuse me because I'm listening to Ava stitching in the inner leg in the background. So I'll turn down the volume a bit. But I thought I'd do some stitching today instead of working on a diamond painting. I've been doing a diamond paintings consistently for the past 4 or 5 days. And I decided I need a little bit of a break. So, but yeah, I picked out this one. I liked it. I like the wolf. But I've got so many different ones that I really need to work on. But unfortunately, there's just not enough time in one day. You know what I mean? Yeah, I was watching Ava this morning, and now I'm binge watching, trying to catch up because lately I haven't been getting any of my notifications. And so I am trying to catch up on all the videos that I've missed. But we're getting there little by little. Yeah, I've been using this particular stand. Let's see if I can get it. Oh, wrong direction. Been using this particular stand see if I can. As you can see, it's this type. One reason I like this is because you can just flip it in order to tie off, and then just flip it back over, which I like that. But anyway, let me see. Yeah, I was talking to Ava on her live today, and I guess she didn't realize I had my own channel until today. And so most of the time I just kind of lurk in the background and listen, and you know, I'll put a like up there, and I hardly ever comment though. And so anyhow, but I'm just decided I was going to do some stitching today. So I hope that's okay with y'all. Yeah, I like I said in the previous video, I've got a doctor's appointment on Tuesday at like 8:30 in the morning. And then my daughter and I were talking about, we got this new store that just opened up, I think it was last month, and it's called Five Below. And I've heard about it, but I haven't been to it yet. So when we get out of the doctor's office, if I still feel up to it, I may take and we may take and go over to Five Below and see what they got. Just because. So anyway, but mostly I'm going to the doctor to renew my prescriptions. I go in about every 3 months, you know, and get my prescriptions renewed. And then, so that we could go over to that other store, and I may take my cell phone with me and
these would actually be a really good alternative to chips.
Sorry about that. And take my take my cell phone with me, and and do a video while we're there in there, show you what we got, because I'm sure we don't have a whole lot, but can't hurt to go in there and look, right? And I'm looking for another another video to watch, but I don't see any. So you know what I'm going to do? I am going to put on some music. There we go. And just going to sit here and stitch, and we're going to talk a little bit and that kind of good stuff. Yeah, I was doing a diamond painting, and I finally finished it. It was that lighthouse that I really liked. It turned out really pretty. It does. It looks just like almost like a photograph. That's how well the detail it turned out. And so I'm happy with it. And then I've got a bunch of others I've got to work on. I got Our Lady of Heaven that I started, and then I've got what else have I got to work on? I've got a ton of stuff. That's all I know. I got whips everywhere, but that's all right. We'll get to them eventually. Yeah. Ava, she doesn't mind being in front of the camera. Me, I'm not so comfortable with that. You might catch me once in a while in front of the camera, but not very often. So, but that's all right. As long as you can see what I'm doing, that's all that matters, right? Yeah, these ones in the middle, they're a different color. So those are a yellow with a, looks like a blue stripe in the middle of it. So I'll have to come back and get those after I get done with these. But anyhow, so yeah, the weather has been pretty good the last couple of days. It's warmed up considerably, and now it says the temperatures are supposed to plummet again. So it's always something, right? And that's here in North Georgia, because we're just south of Chattanooga. Let me check. Let's see what we got. So right now it's 73 degrees. And it's supposed, on Sunday, it's supposed to drop down to 33 degrees on Sunday. And then the high on Monday is only supposed to be 65. So we are looking at up and down type weather for the next few days. So it's always something, right? This time of year, it's always up and down. But so far, we haven't had any snow, which is good. And we got a little snow last weekend, and it just spit a little bit, but it didn't do much. And then, but it stayed cold for a few days. But luckily, we don't get snow that lays that often, you know, so. And if it does lay, it's usually gone within a day or two. So, I hope the music's not too loud. The last few times that I've done videos with music, they always seem to get really loud, and I don't like that. Because then I have to shout, almost shout over the music, which is not a good thing. So, come on. I think I'm going to have to take and tie this one off. Yeah. Because I'm just about out of thread. There we go. All right, here we go. I try to get up underneath the stitching and anchor this hang on while I get a pair of scissors out. I forgot to grab a pair of scissors. So just hold on a second. It's always something, right? Come on. Would you come on? There we go. There we go. Well, that doesn't cut very well. Alrighty, here we go. Now, let me get. Let's see. You can hear my daughter rattling around out there in the living room. She's setting up the gate to open the doors, but keep the cats and the dogs in. Yeah. Alrighty, there we go. We're almost set. I have to get this one stitch in, and then we're good. That way I don't pull the thread out. There we go. Yeah, once I get a couple of stitches in, then I can trim the tail off and get it out of the way. Ouch. I keep hitting stuff. There we go. Yeah, I got a latch hook kit that I picked out from Amazon, and after I get my medicine in and my doctor's appointment paid, then I will order a latch hook kit that I found. I found one. It's a pillow, but it has a ladybug on it. And so I decided to put that in my cart, and as soon as I can, I'm going to purchase it. That way I can leave it on my bed, and that's after I get it done, because it is a pillow, and put it on the, leave it on my bed to represent my channels, my channel here. I was thinking about starting another channel that's strictly cross stitch. I was thinking about it, but we'll see. See, I don't do counted cross stitch. I kind of got out of that. And so I do printed. Yeah. Ouch. I keep bumping my hands. Sorry about that. Anyhow. But we're getting there. What I'm working on, it looks like the ear of the wolf. Okay. And yeah, I'm trying to keep everything in the center of my work where I'm working at, and then just gradually work my way out to the outer side of it. But giving a shout out to Eva, and go over there and check out her channel. And what it is Stitching in the Interlake is the name of the channel. And she does, primarily, she does cross stitch. She does printed and she also does counted. But, and she does lives on, normally on Sunday afternoons, right? But sometimes she switches it over and she'll do it on Saturday. So, come on. There we go. And so anyway, sorry about that. I was concentrating on what I'm doing. Come on. Y'all talk to yourselves when you stitch. I know I do all the time. I love the sound of the threads going through. Get out of there. Stubborn. Sometimes it wants to be stubborn. There we go. And I just like the sound of the thread coming through. What are you doing? There we go. And I know it's that rhythmic sound. It's very relaxing. Usually I go outside and sit on the front porch, and I'll usually stitch outside, but with the weather constantly changing here lately, I've been kind of stuck indoors. Yeah. Right now I've got Lily and Frankie up on the shelf. Both of them are asleep. That's why I'm able to stitch. Because normally if I try to do any stitching and they're awake, and Frankie is right up in there trying to help. You know, she got her fingers and her head and her nose all up in my stitching, and I can't see what I'm doing. So, and then, let's see. And then I think my daughter's supposed to go get her groceries tomorrow, I think she said. But that's all right. Right now, I don't need anything from the grocery store at this point. So I am doing okay. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta find a place to put up my little Christmas tree for Christmas. I got this little Christmas tree. It's about 2 foot tall. It's not very big, but I'd have to find a spot to put it. Yeah. Now that the girls are a little bit bigger and not quite so rambunctious, I think I'll be able to put it out this year because I couldn't put it up yet last year because I tried and they kept knocking it over. So I said, well, forget that. So I ended up putting it back in its box and putting it back in the closet. So hopefully they are not near as rambunctious as they were last year. Last year they were still pretty much kittens. So yeah, they reached a year old in June. This past June, and so it's hard to believe how that time has flown by. Yeah, because I got them right after my birthday in June, and they were about 6 or 8 weeks old when I got them. Oh, shoot. Hang on. Oh, I've got to turn this around. Unfortunately, it do have a tendency to knot up. Come on. Hate it when it does this. Oh, come on. It knots up right on the very end of the thread. It's right there on the end. And so, see if we can get it, pull it this way. Nope, don't want to pull it out at all. Alrighty. Improvise. Let's see. Let's cut this part off. Oh, come on. I do not like these scissors. Gonna have to get another pair. Jeez Louise. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh, well. All right. All right. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to get all tangled up like that. And, oh, come on already. There we go. That's better. Sometimes you have to kind of finagle around until you can get it to where you can get started stitching again. Normally I don't use again. Normally I don't use would you come on already? What is going on here? I don't understand what's going on. It's like I got a piece of thread here somewhere that's... Alright, what we're going to have to do is we are going to have to tie this off and start a new thread because this is not working. So alrighty. Shall we try again? I try to avoid knots if I can. I don't like knots. There we go. Anyhow, I just love it when things start messing up, especially when on video. That's when it gets a little iffy. And so anyhow, come on. Some reason it's just not wanting to cooperate. Okay. I'm going to cut this tail off and get it out of the way. There. Get rid of that. Anyhow, so, but it doesn't take long to get this thing going if you, as long as your thread don't keep knotting up, which is what this one is doing. Yeah, like I was saying before, I don't normally use wax on my threads. I don't know why, I just don't. But every now and then, sometimes you have to. And right now, I am not sure where my thread, my threaded wax is at. So we'll just have to make do with what we're doing. Yeah. It keeps twisting on me. Okay. But anyhow, I usually stitch late at night. All right, when I'm watching YouTube or something, I'll be sitting there stitching and listening and watching YouTube channels. But I just thought I was in the mood to stitch today, so that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people use those Q-snaps, and I do on occasion, but most of the time I use a hoop. I don't know. Old school, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, I started this one. It was an Asian bridge, and it's really a pretty picture, but Lily got up on my workstation and knocked over my cup of iced tea, and it spilled all over the cross stitch that I was working on, and as you know, it being printed, all of the ink ran, and so that ended up in the trash. I said, well, all right. I need to get a type of bottle or something that's pretty good size, but if you knock it over, it doesn't spill, especially around this workstation and the computer and all of this other stuff. Because my cat Lily Mae, is a klutz. I mean, she knocks over everything. Yeah, she's as bad, if not worse, than a bull in a china shop. If you've got anything that you don't want destroyed or broken, you need to put it in a cabinet where she can't get to it. Excuse me. Okay. Now, I'm not going to stay on here much longer. I just figured I'd do a short stitching here. And then probably do some diamond painting later today. Because I am trying to get a lot of these diamond paintings done. Sounds like somebody's here. The dogs are getting ready to go off. Anyhow, so I'm gonna, what do we got here? It's almost 40 minutes. So I'm going to finish this thread, and then I think we're going to get off here. Yeah, at least for now, right? Because it's 3:15 in the afternoon, and I need to get some stuff done. So I gotta put a load of laundry in and help do up some of the dishes. Yeah. So I figure I'll get out there in the kitchen and I'll kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I'll do some laundry and I'll do some dishes. So y'all have a really fantastic day. And if it's cold where you're at, Then stay warm. Try to stay indoors and out of the weather. And then if you're like us and having moderate weather, then go outside, enjoy the sunshine while you can before it gets too cold. And then we'll probably see you later tonight, maybe. Depends. Some nights I feel up to it, some nights I don't feel up to doing any videos. It all depends. Anyhow, come on, get over there. Come on. I got arthritis in my thumb, and so it the stitching does aggravate it a little bit. And fine, we're going to finish this one stitch and then we're going to cut this off. I've had a lot of trouble with this one particular strand of thread for some reason. I don't feel like fooling with it anymore. So we'll finish off as far as we can go. And then we will call it a day. And I can switch and get a different thread, because this one here is knotting up and it's not very good. And I'll dig around and see if I can find my wax, because normally I don't use wax, but I'm gonna dig around and see if I can find some, and that way I don't keep having these same problems over and over again. All right, this is the last one. Okay, flip her over. All righty, we are done. All righty, well, y'all have a good day, and God bless you and God keep you. And I will see you on the next one, I think. Oh, come on. There we go. Turn this back over. Put that right there, like so. All righty. There we go. We're done. All right. You have a good day. See you tomorrow. See you the next time. Take care. Bye-bye.